Live. Decided to bring this little number out again. One of my favorite childhood steam locomotives, and I've got a whole variety of different rolling stock on as well. For tagging my YouTube, hello, how are you doing this evening? Auto Model Rail Fan, welcome! Phoenix Smith, welcome. I'd assume, I think the Discord people might be here first. Techski, hello. Model Railroader, welcome. Jason Gibson, hello. Trains Model Productions, Athearn Chassis Fan, NEC Rail Videos, hello. Iron Diamond, Sam Central, Alex Pingington. Train Street, hello. Conrail Rail Fan 4014. Space Pig Trains, I don't know if I've seen that channel in here before. RS Transportation, SoCal Trucking, hello. I am Milk, Otter Valley Railroad, Federal 2000, Shannon Doe, Soccer Superstar, hello. Maxwell Haggery, Point of Rocks, Railfan Productions, Railbro Productions. Have you ever joined the single gang? I am Milk. Milk is delicious. Remember? Yes, I do remember you, as a matter of fact. Dawson's Railfan Adventures, welcome. I'm just going to set it to live chat here, too, so hopefully I won't go missing any messages there. Can you run an F power unit? Yeah, we can get an F unit on there. I'll have to run this somewhere first, but yeah, we can do that. Tristan Boy 01, hello. You're in your BNSF GE loco. Yeah, we can run that. Okay, I'm just gonna move this somewhere, and then yeah, we'll get that one going there. How many Intermountains do you have? I don't think I have any pieces from Intermountain. I almost bought a BNSF engine, and that was back in January. No, sorry, it was it was the final days of 2019, basically, and Larkspur was having its Boxing Day to New Year's sale, and I've been looking at this thing for a long time, so I was like, I'm going to go in. I had my money and everything. I showed up there, and it was gone, so I never ended up buying it, but that all turned out okay, because David Z2G Scale was kind enough to go ahead and ship me one there, so I still ended up with one. Anyway, I'm going to pick this one because it's got a knuckle coupler on it. It's also an Athearn Blue Box, which is always good. Sorry I didn't make it to the last. My phone went out due to the service connection. No worries. I never plan these live streams, so whenever somebody joins in and they say, oh, I'm late or something like that, it's like, well, you can't be late to something that, there was, no planning on. So, yeah, I always try to say that there. Anyway, let's get this going here, and then we'll get some other things on. Robert Siri, I know I'm probably butchering that name, but thank you. Jen Coleman, yo, SMT, I'm a big fan. Sending you a parcel in the mail. It should be there in a week. Okay, well, keep my eyes peeled for that. Steffi Baker, how are you doing? Anyway, we got that all going there. Ethan, welcome. HO Athearn Genesis 135. Love your live streams. Thank you. Can you run both Centennials? I would. They're not really geared the same way, though. I mean, one's from the 1980s and the other's modern. They're very different. Gonna get the Rapido F59 PH. Probably not. I'm not sure, though. I don't know. I'm undecided. They're expensive, but they're nice. Can you run all of your E8s? I would. Unfortunately, I think it was in the last stream, one of the couplers broke off, though. And also the new one I got doesn't run yet, but we'll get it going again. Please run a big boy. Sure, we can run one of those. Mike Muritz. Oh, I got both of them in here tonight. That's great. Trainstorm, Paramarquette Productions. Hey, Harrison, today hasn't been good for me. Thanks. Make me feel better in the stream, buddy. Keep up the amazing work running those trains. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but welcome. Hopefully things will be better from here on out. Angry Rail Fan, welcome. Can you run your new Tyco? I wish I could run the new Tyco. I have to fix it up first, but it's going to be fun. Can you run the big boy later? Absolutely. We're going to let this one do a couple laps, and then we'll swap it out. We'll put the, whatchamacallit there, the dash 9er on. Maxwell Bish, can you run all your like trains? Lifelike? Hello, Harrison. Your streams are always great. Thank you for your contribution to the community. Oh, thanks for joining in. Can you run the big boy? All right, we're getting a lot of requests for the big boy there, so we're going to take this one off. We're going to put the dash 9 on there, and then we'll run the big boy after the dash 9. Shane's Trains, hello. Can you run the Burlington Northern Alco PA? Burlington Northern, oh, the old Model Power one. That one doesn't get requested very often. Sure, I'll try my best anyway. It might have horn hook couplers, but I've got my conversion car, so yeah, we'll figure something out. Anyway, this is a good little puller, actually. I've got to say I'm impressed. It's old Athearn Blue boxes. They just don't disappoint me. Can you put the frozen car on the own scale layout and run it for the meme? I wish I could. In a previous live stream, we tried to have the little Scout pull it there, and it wasn't strong enough. I could be wrong. The other one might be able to, but I think the bigger engine, which is strong enough, may need to be lubricated. I can't remember, though. It needs attention, though. I bought that thing for $30, so yeah, I don't expect much from it. And it also wasn't in working order, but I managed to fix it through a variety of different techniques. Can you run a consist? We got a consist right here, and we got our dash 9. So yeah, I've never seen somebody have a full library of Ho Trains. It was a lifetime dream of mine. When I was a kid, that's what I wanted, to have a whole bunch of locomotives. And well, here I am 12 years later with exactly what I always wanted. So yeah. Sorry, I wasn't at the last live stream. No need to apologize. SMT is the dummy from the last stream fixed. No, well, I got the wheels back on it, but something's up with that thing. I don't know. It hadn't been running, I think, a few years, so I don't know. Should have sort of known in a way that something was going to go wrong. Anyway, we're going to get this thing going here on the DCC controller. It is, of course, set to 4926, so we'll do that. There we are. I'll put the headlights on there. Harrison, I forgot. What do I need to get a shout out? If you're 10 or less subscribers away from any milestone, such as 50, 100, 150, etc., basically any number by 50, I give people a shout out. Just help them reach milestones. Check your email. Nice item you want. I might have already checked the email. I think it had a Hershey streetcar. Sorry I haven't replied to that. It doesn't ship to Canada, though. So I wish I could, because $20 for a Hershey streetcar is a very good deal. But yeah, thanks for responding to me on Instagram. I'm very happy you did. I try to read and respond to everybody's emails, messages, and stuff like that. I'm a little bit slow on the response sometimes, but I do try to pretty much reply to everybody. Can you run the Hiawatha after the big boy? I can run the Fox Valley one, yeah. Can you run the Army train? I don't really have all the setup for that. Just your average doughboy, welcome. You should run a CSX 9 with that as well. -9. Oh, because it's a dash and a 9. Sorry, I didn't make the connection there. I don't know how compatible they would be. They might... I don't know. Did we already test this, maybe? I don't know. Honk the horn over level crossings. If it did, if it was a sound-equipped locomotive, I would. This one's silent DCC, but yeah, I'll flash the lights at drivers approaching. It will be good. New switches near town. Yes, you noticed them. Yeah, the old switches, unfortunately, were they had the plastic frogs and they were just wearing right down. You can really see this is one of the old switches. It's that part right there, how that's all warped. So basically, it just wasn't holding the wheels properly, and it was causing derailments. So I needed to replace them with something, and I had seen at my other hobby shop, they had these switches, which have a metal frog, which I like, because it's going to last longer. But they were going for 30 bucks a pop, so I didn't buy them, and then over the weekend... or sorry, it wasn't the weekend, it was just a few days ago. I took a little day trip up to Merrickville, and he was selling these things practically brand new for only 13 bucks a pop. So I bought 2 of them and installed them. It looks like a mess, but it does, so far things have been operating a lot better over them, so that's something I'm happy about. How's your Hershey Factory going? It's going well. There hasn't really been any changes over the last few days to it, but I'm happy to see it where I am. Man, I wish you could buy a new engine, maybe a tank engine if you want. Yeah, I don't know. Keep buying all sorts of stuff. I have 2 ones. I didn't think these were not supposed to arrive until August 19th. There should be 2 GG ones in that box, so I was thinking about doing an unboxing, but I don't know. I think I'll try to do that tomorrow, open it up, see what's inside. I bought them. It was $120 for 2 GG ones. I don't know why they were going so cheap. I think one's a Riverossi, the other one might be IHC, but I don't know yet. Can I see the Hershey Factory? Absolutely. Yeah, there she all is. Can you run a GP9? Maybe. I think, sorry, for now I think we'll get the big boy. Hey, SMT, can I get the opposite of a shout-out? Well, I suppose if that's what you want. I don't know what that would be, though. A shout in? Hey, SMT, do you remember me? Probably. Do you have a live steam locomotive? They run on Steam. No, I don't have any live Steam. Live steam locomotives, especially in HO scale, are very rare. I know Hornby was making some way back when, but yeah, I don't know. You need a special controller and all sorts of things like that, and I think you need to know how to operate those things. They're not simple. So it'd be cool though, miniature live steam engine. Oh, I'll have fun with that. Mohawk and Western Railroad, hello. Sorry, Nielsen, welcome. Also, can you run the Go train? I'll try my best. We got a lot of requests coming in at the moment there, but yeah, at least we'll get the big boy on, which is something a lot of people wanted. NEC, I'm 40 away from 6 away from 40. Unfortunately, it's 40 above, so that wouldn't happen. SMT, what was your first model train? I started off with a few, actually. The first few I had, I mean, first of all, I had my dad's old lifelike F unit. But the first ones I personally got were, I had a Walters via, I think it was an FP40H. Then there was a lifelike, I think it was a GP40, and then I also had a little Bachmann, what was it? I can't remember the configuration on it. I think it was a 260. I don't think there were any back wheels. So yeah, it was a 260. So that was my original collection with a little loop of lifelike track. And then a few months after that, I think it was 2008, and yeah, for my 7th birthday, I ended up getting this layout. So that's how yeah, that's how it all began back in those crazy 2000s. Run your Black Widow F unit. That one doesn't run. I need to fix it. Harrison, do you have any Shea locomotives? I don't have any Shea locomotives. I'd like to get one at one point. They're kind of interesting. We actually have a Shea locomotive in the area at the Bytown Railway Society. I went on a very short train trip on that back when I was a kid. So, yeah, I don't know. They're very interesting. Fishing with Ryan, welcome. Go Global Bricks. SMT, I have Bachmann SNF. It smells really bad and smoky. If it's an old Bachmann, that's probably the kind that have the old pancake motors. I wouldn't run if any engine's smoking, don't run it. That's, you know, smoking's for steam locomotives, not for model trains. And yeah, it usually means either one of the coils is shorted and that's causing some smoke, or something's burning on the commutator. Either way, it needs to get dealt with. If it's a coil Unfortunately, you really can only replace the motor. But if you've got something burning on the commutator, provided it hasn't done too much damage, you can usually just clean it up and it will work fine for a good long time to come. So, yeah. SMT, can you run your Canadian National RDC locomotive? We can. I don't remember that thing running very well last time, though, because I think towards the end of the previous stream, somebody requested that one. Wow, what are the chances of finding a model train on the side of the road? Probably not that high, although I got a lot of trains from some friends who were giving them away, and they were ready to put them at the end of their laneway, so there's that. And there was also a guy at a train show, and he had some locomotives he was selling really cheap, and he told me that his neighbor had put them out, and he picked them all up, which was sort of an odd comment to make, because, you know, he's kind of basically telling me that he's selling trains that he got for free that morning, but yeah, I guess it's probably rare, but you never know. I'd be surprised if you ever found anything like amazing on the side of the road, though. I mean, if you're like me and you like the old Tycho lifelikes and Bachmans just for fun there, yeah, maybe you'll find some, but yeah, probably not that likely. Hey SMT, are you doing a Christmas contest this year? Probably so. I was very happy with how the last contest turned out. I think it was a lot of fun, and yeah, hopefully we'll do it again. Hey SMT, do you know where I can get a DC chassis system locomotive such as a Tycho lifelike or Bachman? I don't know a specific place other than like eBay, but I mean, if you're searching for brands like that, they're not hard to come by. I've got locomotives for the chassis system from all three of those makes, so just keep looking. If a well-stocked hobby shop, I'm sure would carry at least one chassis system locomotive from one of those manufacturers. SMT, get Nerf Cat. Nerf Kitty's outside right now, having a nice little time. How's your day been going? It's been going well. How's yours? Did you ever get that weird Etsy German locomotive running right? I haven't yet, although one thing I was really surprised by was I received a comment from somebody claiming that they work for, gee, what company was it? I want to say Pico, I think, Roco. Yeah, they work for Roco, which I guess bought out Fleshman, so they have a lot of Fleshman parts. So, anyway, they told me to get in contact with them, and they might be able to get me some parts. So I sent them an email, and sure enough, they contacted me back. And I basically took out, there's an identical part on the other side, so I removed that, and I took the measurements. So anyway, I haven't heard anything about that, but if I'm lucky, I might get the parts I need from them. I really don't know, but I guess only time will tell. Do you know if Athearn made any green CN locomotives? I have a band drive gear locomotive in green yellow paint scheme. I'm not aware of any, but it wouldn't surprise me. Athearn made so many different, different railroads that there is probably one. Or it could be a custom job too, because if it's when you bought used, there's a lot of people loved modifying the old Athearn blue boxes, so it's not that uncommon to come across one that's been custom done. As a matter of fact, that Canadian Pacific engine, that paint scheme was all done by hand. Can you run the Quebec and Gatineau unit? I'll try. I think I'll get the Hiawatha going on now, though. I'm here until... Welcome, Jammin' Steam Train. Can you run a Norfolk Southern locomotive? Yeah, I might have to hold back on the request for a little bit, though, because I still have to run that Burlington Northern unit there. There's probably a couple others which I might have forgotten. Can you run the blank locomotive? That one doesn't run. That one needs to be fixed up. Anyway, we're going to get this one off, and we're going to put some other stuff on there. Can you run the lifelike chassis system F unit? Possibly. Like I said there, got a lot of requests at the moment there, so might have to. Any new train shows in 2020? Unfortunately not. They've all been canceled, at least until the fall, and I can't say... I think they're going to start back up, but you never know. Maybe they will. I'm glad I was able to go to that last one, though, before that was the end of that, because yeah, it's been a while. I've missed going to the train shows. You know, I get it; it's important, but I don't know. It's always a lot of fun, especially the flea market there, because you know all my train buddies. We all go to the same model railway club, so we could all walk around the flea market and find things and discuss them. Buy all sorts of unusual, cheap locomotives and stuff like that. My friend Nick, he ended up buying a painting of the steam locomotive 1201, I think, for $10 and stuff like that. The things that turn up at that market, it's just fantastic. So yeah, that's something I do miss. SMT, how old is Nerf Cat? He's getting up there in age for a cat. I don't know his exact birth date, but he was still a fairly young cat. He wasn't fully grown when we first got him, and that was in the summer of 2009, so he was likely born at some point kind of towards the end of about 2008. So he'd be about 12, roughly. Although Russian Blues, I think, can live a pretty long time, so hopefully that's the case for him. SMT, I'm currently working on building a 405-inch gauge live steam locomotive, and they are very complex, but when they are done, they are very impressive and have enough torque to pull 1 ton. Wow, that's incredible. Hey SMT, I didn't get to see my Back to the Future request. Do you think you can do it again if you did? I did do it eventually, but yeah, I might be able to do that again. I'll do it with the Hiawatha though, because the big boys was already run. Okay, I'm clearly a little bit behind on the comments here. The rail vehicle appears to be gone. It used to be up here, so we're gonna have to go find that. Here it is. Take us outside to see Nerf Cat. Nerf. I don't know exactly where outside he is. He's probably hanging out on the porch. Who knows? Are your two layouts connected? Sort of. I need to sort out how they're put together. Can you run your 460 steam locomotive? Which one's that? Can you do a review of the Bachmann 210 Russian decapod in the future? Decapod? I thought a decapod was when they had three sets of driving wheels. Am I wrong about that? Anyway, here's this. The Hiawatha is going to catch up, so this should work out. You need to get a Flying Scotsman at some point. Well, I own one. I just need to get a working one, or fix the one I have, although I'd need to buy a special track because it's AC. And it's also from, like, the late 40s or something like that. Anyway, here's your knockoff of Back to the Future right here. There's the bridge. You're on a coal train. I don't think I've got a whole bunch of miscellaneous coal cars, but I couldn't make like a consistent one. Can you see the Hershey Factory? Absolutely. Here it is. Can you run one of your VIA locomotives? Okay, I'm just going to go through. We've got a lot of requests. I'm going to hold back on those for a while. SMT, I found a Tyco Chattanooga on the side of the road, fixed it up, and it almost runs. Just needs 2 wires to be resoldered. That's awesome. How long were you thinking of streaming? No particular time. Probably not going to be terribly long since it's almost already 10 o'clock at night. But, you know, I don't know. These things usually go on for a fair amount of time there. Can you run a GP9? I'll try to get to that eventually. First, we're going to run the Burlington Northern one, which was requested. I was kind of surprised about that. Double head the big boy and the Hiawatha. I don't even know if it's possible. Does I know the Hiawatha has no front coupler, but neither does the big boy. So, yeah, unfortunately that one's not going to work. SMT, okay, I'm not gonna love your vids. Can you run the AMT Tony train? The AMT, what's that? What happened to the old train that's just sitting? Which one is that? This? You should do an operating session with CNGT locos. That would be cool. How long? Okay, I've already read that comment. Wyatt's Workbench. Welcome. How are you doing this evening, Wyatt? Howdy, Harrison. Sorry I'm late. No worries, CR to Hobo. Okay. Just gonna go through. Bachmann made a Via train in the 1980s, and the passenger cars were Amfleets. So if you see any old Bachmann blue Via cars, take a close look at them because the Via Amfleets are cursed. Ha, that's interesting. Ottawa, do you have any updates on the plan for the Wakefield trip? I don't, Ottawa. It might, yeah, for a while there, it might be stopped. I think in the in the early fall it might be done, which would be nice. Because in the early fall, the colors are usually quite gorgeous up towards Wakefield, and that's when they, a lot of the photography was done with it. So I feel like that would make a really scenic environment to run it. So yeah, that's about all I have planned for it. I did set up the track upstairs a few days ago, so most of it works okay. But yeah, I set it up in the living room to try to make a train for Nerf Cat. He didn't appreciate it, so yeah, that didn't go so great. Anyway, we're going to get on a locomotive, which is not... I don't think this thing's very well known. Frankly, I'm surprised it was requested. So, yeah, we'll try to get that one running there. Do you have any CSX? If so, can you please run one? I do have one, but I'm holding back on requests at the moment just because I've got so many. I don't want to start forgetting them as I do, so yeah. Anyway, do you have a Berkshire 280? I've got two 280 Berkshires, but both broke. The old River Aussies from the 70s. I like them, but I find you have to work on them a lot. There's always something going wrong. When they run, they're pretty good runners, in my opinion. But, yeah, keeping them running can be a little bit of an effort. Dollar Tree knockoff. A decapod is a 210. Okay, that's what a decapod is. So I wonder what I was thinking of. I think it was a something pod that had the... had the 3 sets of driving wheels there. Those things are freaky, but frankly, I'm on the market for one. Anyway, this thing still runs apparently. All right. You need to get an HO scale Texas Special added to your collection. Yeah, maybe so. A locomotive with 3 sets of driving wheels, a triplex, okay. I thought somebody had told me it was a decapod. I don't know, I can't get that out of my head. The engines with 3 sets of driving wheels, okay, a whole bunch of people are talking about it, it's a triplex. Yeah, anyway, I want to buy a triplex. It doesn't have to be an amazing one, but I just want one of those kind of really bizarre engines, something that just looks like really freaky going around the layout there. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I want something very odd and kind of interesting. Anyway, we'll let this go around, and then I think I'll finally run that GP9. What is the teal boxcar? It's a New York Central system. I think they had those kind of towards the end of their existence. What's the radius of curves on your layout? Most of it's on the mainline 22, although this is technically 21, this switch. It didn't say that on the box, but that's what the guy at my hobby shop said, and I don't know why he would make that up, so, yeah. Use the big boy. We've already run that one. Please read SMT. The big boy has a front coupler that can be turned inside out as it is inside the front. I never noticed one. I guess that's possible. Let's have a look. Get that. Yeah, oh. Huh, darn, look at that. It does exist. So that's cool. It's got a coupler. I didn't know that. That's great to know. That's a synthetic coupler, unfortunately, though. It's just there for decoration, so that's good, but you can't really couple onto that. It might work a little bit, but you'll run into problems. What's your opinion on Garrett locomotives? I don't really know what a Garrett locomotive is, to be honest with you, so I don't really have an opinion. Can you run your N scale? I don't think it's hooked up at the moment. I have a River Rossi Berkshire, and every time I want to run it, something breaks, and I need to fix it. Yeah, like I was saying, the old River Rossis can be a bit temperamental sometimes. But when they're running, oh, they're golden. Did you know that you can attach Tyco couplers with modern Bachmann couplers? Yeah, there are ways to connect horn hook couplers to knuckle couplers, although you have to watch it, because if you're not careful, you'll end up losing the springs on the knuckle couplers. If you're ever in Illinois, USA, you should check out Chicago Northland Toys and Hobbies. The name sounds very familiar. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to fix this at some point. I mean, this engine's running fine, but you can hear a clicking noise. I think it's probably got a split gear somewhere in there. Have you heard of the Great Locomotive Chase? I've never heard of that. That's interesting. Triplexes were kind of not good because the last set of driving wheels were under the tender, so when coal was being used, the rear wheels would slip. That's a bit of a design flaw. You need your fuel tank to weigh you down there. I've never heard of that. That makes sense, though. Imagine, too, a locomotive with that many moving parts. They must have been a nightmare to maintain. My goodness. Something to be said about very small and simple things. Anyway, somebody wanted me to run a GP9. They didn't specify which one it was, so I'm just going to try to find one which hopefully has a coupler on it, and we'll run that. Of course, we got the Quebec one. I could always put that behind it. It's got a coupler. Perfect. Go Veer, go home. How are you doing this evening? Can't find any triplexes. Apparently, they're quite rare. I'm running my model trains as well. That's great. That's what I usually do when I'm watching other people's live streams. You work on a little activity and you listen to the chat and kind of watch it in the background. At least that's what I do usually. Just find it's a good way. Can you have certain times where you tell us that you're looking at the chat? Well, I mean, I'm always kind of looking at the chat. Can you please run the Hiawatha? I'm not sure if I'm behind on the chat right now, but we already ran that one. SMT, can you run a full consist through your logging layout? If I had a controller hooked up, I'd definitely run something, although I don't know about a full consist, because the curves and stuff on that layout tend to throw cars and all sorts of things off the track. Oh, okay. I think the coupler height might be a little bit off, so we're just going to go and run the Quebec and Gatineau instead there, because, I don't know, this was my work, so I might have done something. Anyway, can you run your daylight? That one's, yeah, I don't know. I need to do something about the daylight. That one's requested so much, but it just doesn't run. Make a 4 locomotive ready to pull train. Northern Ohio Rail Fanning, welcome. TSMLG, you should check out a video, do a full collection video. Yes, a lot of people have been suggesting I do a roster video. I did one last Halloween, although I guess we're getting closer. I keep thinking of, Halloween as not being, just a couple months ago, but really it's only a few months away. So yeah, maybe it's time to do a new roster video. Be nice to get the project locomotives completed. That way I can throw them in. I mean, they can be added if they're broken, but it would be nicer if I had them all fixed. A lot of them don't need to be repaired to run. They run. I just need to lubricate them. But there are some other ones which need a little bit more. How big is your table? It's sort of hard to say. I don't know the exact measurements. This width-wise is just a little bit over. I think it's like 4'2". I can't remember what the length is. This is 8 feet right here, this layout. And then the gully's probably about a good 1.5 roughly. And I think this layout is 6 by 4 and a little bit. So if you can, you can do the math there. Can't remember what this one is. I think I calculated the Hershey Factory takes up roughly 32 square feet, although that might be an overestimation. Those triplexes were likely to be quite expensive brass models. Prepare to spend around $500 if not more. Yeah, I'll have to look. It doesn't have to be a brass one though. I just want one. It can be in terrible condition. I don't care. I just want to find one there. So, yeah, I'll be on the market. If I run into one in a train show, it's going for like, like, I don't know, $250 for one that's not in great shape. I think I'll just snap it right up and I'll have my brand new one. Why are all the switches being ripped up by the buildings? They're not being ripped up. I just had to replace them. So those are new switches. It just hasn't been connected back onto the main line, but I'll do that at some point. Can you run the Centennial? All right, I think I can probably start taking requests again. So yeah, I'll run that one. Russian decapods were pretty expensive, so I can understand if you don't want to review it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't bought a brand new Bachmann product in quite a while, too. I mean, I've bought new Bachmann products, but they've been usually very small things, and they're being sold on consignment. I don't buy a whole lot of Bachmann anymore. I mean, even the GG ones were a bit of an interesting case because I looked at Bachmann's GG1 and the specs actually seemed pretty good. It had a 5-pole skew-wound can motor, 10-to-1 gearing, probably wipers for pickup, which is on a modern engine kind of for me. I prefer if it's by bearing. I just find it simpler. And it's more efficient too, so there's that. But yeah, overall it didn't seem too bad, and I think it was on trains.com they had basically one going for $80, so I was like, oh, that doesn't seem bad. A DCC sound engine going for 80 American dollars, I'll pay that. So yeah, I bought it, but then they wanted to charge me another $40 for shipping, and I was like, yeah, no thanks. So yeah, I didn't end up buying it, but I still had that money in my bank account, so recently, there were 2 GG1s, but one of which is from River Rossi on eBay. One's a Brunswick green, and the other one's a Tuscan red. So I got 2, and yeah, 2 for the price of 1. They're not sound or anything like that, but I don't know. When it's between buying a old River Rossi for cheap and buying a new Bachmann for cheap, I kind of lean towards the River Rossi. Please run the cursed train. Yeah, we can get the Acela going there. I don't know where I'm going to park this freight train, though. Might run some other stuff before that. We'll get the Centennial on, get that going there. I just subscribed about a week ago. Oh, you're fairly new to the channel. Welcome. Go Veer, go home. An all-Canadian roster. That's what I should have done for Canada Day. Darn. Hey, SMT, I have a question. Is that trolley track powered? It is powered. I don't think the controller's plugged in. In fact, the trolley's not even on the track right now, but it does, it can go from the downtown and back if I can find the... See, for eons, people have been telling me to label my plugs, and I actually went about a month ago down here, and I put little labels on a lot of them, so I know. So that's my sound controller. So what I need to find is the plug for the lifelike. That's the alternate DC. Oh, goodness. I wonder if the label came off. I had one down here. It was labeled LL for lifelike. So, I guess I broke it off. That one looks like a lifelike kind of plug to me, so I'm just gonna wing it here and assume that that's it. I guess not. Oh. Ha! Let's plug that in there. Uh-oh. Okay, it should work now. There we are. It goes to the end. I have to be careful, though, because part of the track there is not engaged. I didn't do it right, so sometimes it kind of gets off the... Whoop, like this. There we are. But yeah, I don't know. Having a streetcar is a lot of fun, and I wanted it to be powered. Eventually, it'd be nice if I can somehow cross over the track. I might run it all the way over to the industrial section, but for now, it's just a short little line. Just joined Finn for the night. Welcome, Wyatt Bridges. Never seen the streetcar run. I don't run it terribly often, but it's there once in a while. Have you ever thought of buying trains off of Mercari? There's probably a way to pronounce that right. I can't, but here's the thing. A lot of people were telling me about that after buying shady model trains off of Etsy. So I was like, okay, well, let's check this site out. So I went on there. I was blown away by the prices. Those are like some of the best deals I think I've ever seen online. Like that's train show grade prices, what a lot of the people were selling. I saw a River Rossi Dreyfus going for 40 bucks. On eBay, that would be over 100. So yeah, I was all excited. But the thing is that they don't exist in Canada. So I do have a residence in the States right now, but yeah, it's not, I can't really go there right now. So fortunately, I can't really order anything, but yeah, maybe next year. Might order some stuff off of there and try it out. The shipping was dirt cheap too, which I found interesting. It almost seemed a bit too good to be true, so I'm kind of curious about testing it out myself, but yeah, it might be one in the future. I might do a buying shady model trains off of eBay, although that's a whole other ball game. Will you ever connect the Hershey Factory to the main layout? Absolutely. I want it to be connected. That way I can do small-scale switching and run locomotives back there. That grade crossing looks like a ramp. You could use it to pull a sick jump with the trolley. The trolley's ended up on the track before. Like, that's not even a joke. Like... real safe. Yeah, I have a feeling this is supposed to be Dunderville, Ontario. I have a feeling if this was real life, Transport Canada may have some questions about that. Can you also run can you run the Burlington Northern 181? Like that one? I wonder if it could pull this train. That would be an interesting experiment. First I have to run the not the Hiawatha, what am I saying, the Centennial. Hello, SMT, I just came from watching Return of the Jedi, welcome! The chase took place in 1862 when a group of raiders stole a Western Atlantic Railroad General. Is this like Buster Keaton's skit there? Anyone here from the Discord? Welcome. What railroad is that locomotive? There are so many short-line railroads that have that scheme. This one's the Quebec and Gatineau Railway, which is part of Genesee and Wyoming. It's a subsidiary. Is that how you do it? A subsidiary? Anyway, but that's what it is. So I really like this engine. It's in a horrible shape, though. My goodness, I need to buy it some handrails or something like that. Yeah, anyway, let me find the Centennial there. It shouldn't be hard, and then we'll get that going, and it should be great. Do you like Pennsylvania trains? Yet you don't know about SEPA. Man, no, I know about SEPTA. Can't pronounce it really well. I don't really care too much about that railroad, though. Awesome. I like Pennsylvania, though. Pennsylvania Railroad. But yeah, I don't know. Other than local commuter railroads, I'm kind of like, I mean, I like all railroads pretty much, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more for American freight. That's cool. Anyway, let's get this one going. What the heck is it? I'm just gonna run this thing on DC power. It will be fine. What is this even saying? Still low? Yeah, I think we'll just shut that right off. All right, I'm back. Somebody was just visiting here. I didn't want them to get on the live stream if they didn't want to. Anyway, I'm back though. We need to get another Acela up to 88 miles per hour if you just send it back when it falls off the layout. So you would not have to fix it. That's a great idea. Just reverse time, and then I can fix the Acela, which I destroyed last January. You should try doing a repair video with NerfCat, since you did an unboxing and operating video with him. I mean, I could try, but I don't. NerfCat kind of just does whatever he wants. I mean, if he's down here and he's, you know, being all like warm there, you know, I'll bring him up on the bench and he can sit beside me and do that. But yeah, I don't know. Most of the time he's Frosty Kitty there. He doesn't want to, you know, do stuff. I'm not going to force him to go up on a bench there. He can do what he wants, so. Can you run your N scale, please? It's not plugged in right now, I don't think. Well, it might be. I don't know. I bought a Bachmann GG1 from Train World DCC Tuscan Red for $80 US. Shipping was only $10. Runs great, good sound, nice runner, no complaints here. Well, that's good. If they had been not charging so much, I probably would have gone for it. But yeah, I don't know. $40 shipping. Anyway, there's the N scale. I forgot I had that on. Anyway, exactly, that old Buster Keaton movie was based on the reality during the American Civil War. Huh. Buster Keaton skits were the best. I love watching those. They're so light, you know. There's just they're easy to watch, but the content's still genius. Like all the stuff, you know, it's just like you gotta have a creative mind to come up with the types of skits he did. Like they were just brilliant. SMT, what's your favorite muscle car? 1969 Dodge Charger, or 1971. My grandfather had a 71 Charger. After that, it would probably be Ford Mustangs from the 60s. Those are pretty nice. And third, I guess, would be the Camaro. I mean, the Camaro was in Stylo, which, you know, that was a pretty weird music video there. But yeah, I don't know. It looked great in the video. In preparation for invading the southern western during the Civil War, the Union hired hijackers to steal WARR number 3, better known as the Jed Roll. They tore up the telephone lines and twisted the rails until caught. Wow. There's a few Genesee and Wyoming railroads in Canada. Some are in Quebec and Gatineau, Goderich, Exeter. Sorry, my spelling sucks. White Bridges, where's NerfCat? I think he's outside right now. I have a job for you, SMT. What's that? I watched Back to the Future 2 and 3 today. Ah, that's cool. I still stand by, though, that the first and third were the best ones. The second one was kind of, SMT, it's crazy how many of the Tyco Chattanooga locomotives you have. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got 2 of the steam locomotives and 2 of the diesels. I had another one, but one was, I think I parted it out for another one or something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but there's some, I don't, something, I did something with one of them. I think theoretically I should have 3 of them, and I only have 2, so I don't know how I did that, but anyway. What's a roster video? Well, roster, like, it's a collection video, so I'd just be going through and showing off all the locomotives. Got any tier 4s? I don't think so. I'm the guy with the Illinois Central E8s that rivaled. Okay, yeah, that was fun. Yesterday, Adam in the chat here, he sent me a photo of his 2 Illinois Central E8s, and he's like, I think these might rival the Tyco E8s. And I was like, yeah, they might, but I've got 4 of them now. Cinemas have no new movies to play since they're playing classics, so I went Back to the Future 1 and 2 a few weeks ago. That's cool. When I went to the drive-in there, I went and saw a pretty odd movie. I don't know when it was made. It was called American Psycho. That was an experience, all right. It's kind of on the darker range of movies. It reminded me a bit of, from a darkness standpoint, of the movie Falling Down, although Falling Down, the main character wasn't really that much of wasn't really a villain. SMT, I have an HO skill display that I bought. Whoop, I put a DCC decoder in my Athearn F7. That's cool. Does anyone have the George Bush train? I've seen a lot of those. They're not, I've never seen any up in Canada, though. I wonder why. Probably only being sold in the American market. Just like Tyco did with the Spirit of 76 engines and the Canadianas. Can you run your Santa Fe? Which Santa Fe? I want to put DCC in an old lifelike Go Trains. Any suggestions on what decoder I should use? I mean, I think any modern decoder should work fine, but I'd be very careful how you went about doing it, because apparently, of course, most people install decoders on locomotives which have 5-pole motors, and an old lifelike like that would have a 3-pole. So you have to adjust one of the CVs basically so that the decoder interacts with the motor as a 3-pole, not a 5-pole. Because there was this one time too, I had a, it was a lifelike F unit, and I bought a decoder at a train show, I think for 14 bucks, and I installed the decoder. It worked great for one day, and then the next day the decoder burned up. And I had wired it up fine, but I think because it was working with a 3-pole motor, it couldn't handle that, and it burned it up. So I would, I don't know exactly what CVs you need to adjust, but I would suggest looking into that, just because you don't want to fry a decoder, especially, you know, the good ones cost like 30 bucks. I mean, you don't want that just, you know, going away. Who here likes Lincoln Park? There, yeah, I like their stuff. Oh boy, the Centennials come off the track. Ever heard of a company called New Ones Model Company? Given kind of locomotives you collect, you might want to keep an eye out. I can't say I have. Sounds interesting though. I'm thinking about getting a Spirit of 1776 diesel because there's so few on eBay. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you are. I've found in the States that they're not... I bought 2 of them in Cincinnati, or I guess it was Kentucky. I was on the Kentucky side of the border, so yeah, I bought 2 in Kentucky, and I found a fair amount of Spirit of 76 stuff at, like, antique stores in Maine. So, as far as I know, they're not too hard to come about by, but the if you're gonna buy one, I would go for the Mantua Tyco ones, not the Tyco ones. I mean, if you're fine working on the old Tyco ones, that's totally cool. But the thing is, frankly, the Mantua ones just run a lot better than the Tycos. They're built better. They're way more reliable. So there's all of that. Anyway, I feel like there was something I was supposed to run, and now I've forgotten what it is. I know a lot of people were requesting the TGV. I can run that, but will I have the freight train on the track? Well, I'll see. First request I see, I'll run it. SMT, do you think I should ever set up a layout if Perth has another train show since I live in Perth? Absolutely, that'd be awesome. It was really cool when I was at the Perth train show. I met a lot of people who apparently watched this channel, and there was a whole bunch of people who I knew from previous train shows. It's a very wholesome show, I have to say. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, Downtown Train. Sorry I'm late. What's going on tonight? Oh, just the usual, running trains and chatting. But thank you for the super chat. Serenity! Buy some team. I'm going to go watch another one of your videos. All right, have fun. Can any Santa Fe maybe... Okay, any Santa Fe engine. Well, that's straightforward enough. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, there's a certain life. Somebody requested that I run this, so I'll bring that up front because I did say I was gonna do that. That just reminded me. But I will run the Santa Fe of, I guess, my own choosing. I'm not sure what to pick though. Decisions. I'll try to run this. It might work. How did you get started? I got started towards the end of 2006 because my dad I've always loved trains my whole life, and my dad had a model train set when he was a kid, so he showed me that, and then afterwards I was pretty interested in getting a set for myself, and it was, again, around the end of 2006, so yeah, I obviously asked for a set. I've never asked my dad this before, actually, but it kind of just crossed my mind. That was probably all a setup, because I don't know if he had wanted me to get into the hobby there, because he had been in it, but it's just sort of funny that he showed me all of that, and then, you know, Christmas was right around the corner. I'm gonna have to ask him that at some point. I just connected the dots there. It might have been a coincidence, but I don't know. Can you run the handrail? Like the Bachmann Gandy Dancer? SMT, you could probably put in a current limiting resistor to protect the decoder. I don't think it's a current draw issue, because the 3-pole Lifelikes, they draw very minimal power. I mean, they're quite... Whatever people say about old Lifelike engines, that's one thing about them. The 3-pole ones are, provided they're, you know, in proper maintenance, are very, very efficient. So I don't think it was high current that fried the motor. I think it was something about the 3-pole motor, because it would act differently. I mean, you've got 2 less poles, so I don't know. The frequency might be a bit different because it's going 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sure it has an effect on the decoder, and it did something. That was strange. This was running fine. I got a Spirit of 76 C-Liner from AHM. I don't know if I've seen a C-Liner version. That's cool. Can you run a 440 American type from the 1800s? I might have one. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I think the Jupiter would be one of those, but the Jupiter doesn't run because the linkage that I made for it kind of broke. I have an HO scale Coca-Cola train through the years. Train set I'm thinking about parting it out with its F unit. You're on the Gandy Dancer, sure. Good old Bachmann Gandy Dancer. I dropped my Athearn Blue Box SDP40 on my concrete floor, and it was fine. Not a single scratch. They're really tough. I had one, it fell off the layout, and the shell got split It wasn't actually a blue box shell, to be fair, though. But the shell got split and the motor popped out. But that was okay because I bought it used and the motor was already unseated. So I just took the motor. I put it back in. Put some fresh hot glue to hold the motor down. I took some crazy glue, glued the chassis back together. And yeah, it just ran just like it did before. It's because they've got that metal chassis. They can usually, unless you're really unlucky, they can usually take quite a bumping. That's the same unit, by the way, that I was running out in the snow, and it's still running like a charm. So those things are so tough. Can you run some lifelike? Yeah, we could put some LL on there. Let me find a good one though. Yeah, this really turned out to be one of my best running lifelikes, which was funny because it was in terrible condition when I got it, but I like it. Hey, SMT, I'm in a voice chat with Ottawa Nick. There are some weird people. There are some weird people. Sorry, Phoenix, I misread that. I don't know. I might try to join in after, but I don't know. It is starting to get kind of late. Can you run the high-speed train? Yeah, I'll put the TGV on later. We'll get this one and the Burlington Northern on though. Can you run the Metro? Metro? I don't know which one. The Talent? This might not be strong enough. Well, Come on, Team Lifelike. There we go, no problems. Oh goodness, that's plenty fast. I think it's got slipping traction tires. Casey Hudson, whatever you do, don't go into the general voice chat. That Discord server, goodness. Can you get the BNSF engine running too? We already ran that one. SMT, I gotta go do a repair on the roof. Can you run your old Pennsylvania F unit? The Tuscan Green Proto one? Oh, okay. We're off to a start there. I don't know if this is powerful enough. We've given her all she's got. Well, now Phoenix said not to listen to Casey. I don't know who to believe. Frankly, I'm not there, so I have no idea what's going on there. But, yeah, I guess stay away from the voice Discord. Because there's some stuff going down. As if there isn't usually on the Discord server. Harky, hark, hark, hark. Anyway, gee, there was something I was supposed to run. I mean, I can put the TGV on. A fair amount of people have been requesting the TGV, so is that what I should go with? The old Pennsylvania F unit. If I can find that old Proto one, I'll run it. I haven't seen it in a while, though. It's off in the back here. Well, I mean, it's got a coupler. Whether or not that actually works is questionable, but yeah, I'll run this around for one lap. We'll get the freight train off the main line. We'll put the TGV on, and then I think after that, I think it's going to be the end of the live stream probably, because it is headed towards 11 o'clock at night. It's getting up there, so. Anyway, get this Proto one on there. This is a gorgeous engine. I really do like this one. Pennsylvania Railroad had a great taste in paint scheme. I like the colors too. Brunswick green and Tuscan red. I mean, does that not sound great? Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, I feel like we had this problem in a previous stream. And if I can just kind of... yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Alright, well, I'm going to put the 040 in charge of getting this train off the main line, and then we'll run something else. I'm curious to see if this little 040 is powerful enough. I'm going to take a bet. I bet this thing can pull this. Let's see. No problem. Well, stay away of Discord if you don't want to hear Ottawa and Nick scream about LRC coaches. Oh, is that the controversy? I bought two... oh, part of the train came off the track. Yeah, I'll just run it backwards here. Yeah, I bought two DCC sand locomotives from the train shop in Utah. Neither of them worked. I'm sorry to hear that. Actually, I just thought of something, which is that I need to get the TGV over there. So I think I'll put the TGV on, and then we'll get the other part. We'll get the train off the main line. Otherwise, this is just going to be quite a bit more complicated. I wanted to be a train I want to be a train engineer when I grow up. Can you run the Silver Streak locomotive? I don't know if I actually have any running ones at the moment. Does anyone have a Discord link? Well, there are members from the Discord server, like operators here, so yeah, it's very possible that somebody might be able to give you a link to it. Anyway. Running Canadian Pacific. Well, we're about to run the TGV at the moment. Okay. So now all we got to do, get the freight train off the main line, and then we'll be in business to run our high-speed, super fancy train. Go max speed. We'll get it up to a generous speed there. It will look good. I'm so impressed with this little 040. $5. And it's so small it can go over the... you see that? It slid right over the insulated spot? That's fantastic. Finally, some quality content. Oh yeah, nothing but the best on the SMT channel. Now, watch as I mess up the TGV somehow. Oh, almost missed that little one. Yeah, okay, that should work. Phoenix Smith. I can't give him out right now, but Ottawa could. Okay, I'm not gonna ask why. Taco BFB. Yo, thank you for the super chat. Serenity! Anyway, here goes our TGV there. Oh, before I forget, I should probably check to see. Oh, that would have ended badly. Shoe Scientist 123. Today I bought an old Burlington Northern Atherton F7. Didn't run, only the light was on, and I put oil and lubricant on it, and it ran smooth like butter. That's great. That's great. That's usually what they need, honestly. Almost any old locomotive. Like, in a lot of my repair videos, really all I'm doing, you just clean any electrical contacts, you clean any old lubricants out, you put some fresh lubricants in, and you pretty much apply those, you know, like 3 or so rules to just about anything, and yep, it will go well. Clean and lubricated, that's all it needs. I guess you could also argue adjusting is important. Everything needs to be adjusted right, but those are the two main things there. Run both your Centennials in a double header. I would if they were the same, but they're not. They're not similar runners. They're very different. Can you run the Silver Streak locomotive? I don't think I have any working ones right now. Snurf Cat's still outside, likely so. Hey, SMT, are you familiar with the R.J. Corman Railroad Company? They have a bunch of switching operations across America. I think I've heard of that one. I think I was watching some video yesterday about, I think they're like reactivating some abandoned railroad out in Florida. I'm pretty sure that was the same railroad. SMT, would you ever consider getting an AccuTrail speedometer to test the scales of your locomotives? I don't know how much they're selling those things for. I've seen my hobby shop has one. I don't know if I'd buy one myself. I mean, it would be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like those are more intended for the market who really, really care about making things super accurate. I mean, it would be cool to see what speed these things are going, but you know. SMT, please read. Run the 909 to finish off the stream. I guess I could run that one, yeah. Gonna have to figure out. I don't know what cars are on track right now, though. I haven't run the train in a while. Because you have a snowplow train. I got a Great Northern snowplow. I go with my Santa Fe that I modified. Nice. It's the R.J. Corman Railroad. They are restored. Hi from Yorkshire. Welcome. RJ works in Ohio. The moment SMT is trying to fix the track and shocks it, supercharging the TGV to 80 miles an hour to failure. Can we hear the sweet sound from your Atlas GP30-8? I don't even know where that thing is these days. It might be on the restoration bench. I don't know. Random visitor just came across this. Welcome, Tony Hughes. Put HO scale trains next to the N scale trains. Well, I mean, I could. I don't know. Just want a scale comparison. We see the logging layout. Sure. Do you have an NS? I've got a Norfolk Southern Athearn Blue Box SD40-2. Anyway, here's the logging layout. As you can see, Deck 2007, welcome, how are you? My grandpa and dad did work for the New York Central. That's cool. As a comparison, all right. We'll bring down a average size locomotive, I guess you could say. I mean, it would have been good if I brought down the Quebec and Gatineau, but I don't really want to put it down because it's still got all that powdery stuff all over it, so I'm going to need to sort that out. I love the logging layout. All right. Do you have a Union Pacific? I've got a few Union Pacific pieces, yeah. SMT, do you have an AEM7? I don't think I do. I see the daylight. Yeah, there it is. Hope the weather is cooler than our west coast. It wasn't too, I was out earlier today, it didn't seem that bad. SMT should come to Omaha to see the train show in October. Yeah, it depends, I don't know, I can't go to the States right now. SMT in the Discord, we should do a battle of the E8s, that would be great. Do you have any Norfolk Southern? Yeah, I've got the blue box SD40-2. You should buy an X scale. I mean Z scale. Okay, I was about to say I don't think I've ever heard of X scale. My great granddad was a brakeman on the caboose for the Pennsylvania Railroad. That's cool. There's no controversy in the VC. We're excited about the LRC models. Oh, okay, I see Phoenix. You sound so tired. Go to bed, baby. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll probably finish off the stream pretty soon. Oh, the comments. Try to buy the Katy Perry up. What the hell is that? Katy Perry up. Do you have a Boston in Maine? I've got a lot of Maine Central, which has the same paint scheme, but no, none of the Boston in Maine. I should have a Boston in Maine because I'm already almost always up that way. But yeah, can you turn on the railroad crossing light? I can try. But can I do it one-handed? I don't know. We're gonna find out. This wire goes here. So it's this one. Don't try this. Oh, that's dangerous. Ah, there we are. You could devil-head the Hiawatha in the daylight. Just have... Oh, this actually has a genuine coupler on the front. Yeah, I guess it's not impossible. Although the daylight, the daylight doesn't really run, unfortunately. Run the O gauge. Yeah, I don't know. The O gauge needs some attention again. Can you run the tiny Bachmann speeder? Sure. Just gonna roll over there. I'm going to use a quote one of my grandparents once told me, which is, said, do you want to do something? And they said, does it involve leaving this chair? So I'm kind of following that ideology right now. I think being in this chair probably helps the camera, though. I mean, this definitely is smoother than when I'm just standing. I'm not going to let this go any further, though, otherwise the TGV is going to come and ram it there. The Katy Perry Union Pacific Heritage Unit. I haven't heard of that one before, interestingly enough. Can you run the daylight diesel locomotive with a passenger set? I don't know. I think we might run the Wakefield train for the final train of the night, and then that will be it. There's cheap camera stabilizers on Amazon. They work pretty well. I wasn't aware of that. I'll have to have a look. It'd probably be good, just for... I don't know. The Katy is a railroad. Yeah, but the Katy Perry, I don't know. That sounds like a joke to me. Do you have a VIA? You could run it. SMT, do you have a Freedom train? Well, I've got the Spirit of 76 engines, but I don't have like the daylights all decked out there in its famous red, white, and blue. Frankly, I'd like to own both at some point. I don't know how much Bachman's charging for those units. It's probably about 200 bucks, but it'd be nice to have a working normal one, and then if I also bought one of the Freedom Train paint schemes, because that's pretty cool too. I'd love to have that as part of the collection. The thing is, you can buy the older split chassis ones. You know, you can find them, I guess, cheaper, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to cough up too much money for one of those, and people are still charging like 50 bucks, which in comparison to the new ones is a lot cheaper, but still you're paying $50 for an engine that has a questionable drive system. And me driving my dad's new Dodge Ram crashing into SMT's basement so I can take over. The Dodge Ram meme still lives on, folks. I'm amazed. Tell in the chat how much you love Frozen. Oh, I love Frozen. It's a riveting story. It's got a great plot. Honestly, probably the best movie of the 2010s, if not the entire century. No, that's all nonsense. It was terrible. I didn't like that movie. Oh, Disney. I remember, I think I was about maybe 13 when that movie came out. Every girl in my school singing Let It Out. Goodness. Do you have Facebook? I do have a Facebook. You can find it on my main channel page there. What do you call it there? It's in front of the banner. Hey SMT, repeat after me. I'm not saying my original Minecraft name, Phoenix Smith. Hey SMT, what model railroad HO scale website do you recommend? There isn't really one in particular. The thing is, a lot of the ones that I've heard good things about are in the States, so the shipping is not that good because I'm in Canada and it has to cross the border, but that doesn't mean the shipping's not good in the States, but I've never used the services like, you know, Train World and Trains.com, so yeah, I really can't say. I don't buy a crazy amount of trains I mean, the majority of stuff I buy, I try to buy it at, like, you know, just regular train stores and things like that. It's been a little bit more difficult without train shows, though, so I've been buying more online than usual, but generally, it's mostly that. Harrison, go check out Ron's Trains and Things. I've been on that channel before. He makes good quality content there. It's not really my cup of tea though, because he's doing the more professional railroading videos there, and I'm doing the more how do you want to say it, honky tonk. It's a lot more laid back, which I'm all right with, but it's not for everyone. Let it out, let it go. Let it out was one of the lyrics, though. I can't remember. I think I'm too tired. Anyway, I'm going to get this on the main line. We're going to run that, and then it's going to be great. What's, SMT, what loco is your favorite? The Hiawatha. I remember when you had 900 subs. I remember that during 2007, back in 2018. Little youngster SMT. I was only 17, and now I'm 19, and I'm so much wiser and definitely running things so much better. No joke. Yeah, definitely. Run the big boy, please. We already ran that one. We're gonna run the Wakefield train, and then we're gonna finish off the stream because it's almost 11 o'clock at night, and I think my brain is making that clear. SMT, I hate Frozen. My sister, when I go Frozen, let it go, let it go. I'm going to end SMT. My sister wasn't too bad with it. It was just the other girls at my school there. They would always be singing, and I told them that song, you know, would grind my gears there. And, you know, of course, they're going to play little games with that, you know. You tell them that. It's like, that's just inviting trouble into your life there. So, yeah, that happened. But, you know, what can you do? So, yep. But needless to say, I don't miss it. Anyway, let's get this. How am I gonna do this? We need to get this train on the main line, but we need to back it up, and in the way of that is the freight train, and in the way of that is the TGV. So optimally, I think we'll move the TGV, bring the freight train out onto the main line, pull this, put that on the main line, bring the freight train back in, and then get the TGV off the main line. And then we'll run the Wakefield train, and then that will be the end of the live stream. What company makes those crossing lights? I think they do have a make on them. W.C. Hayes. Hey, SMT, I said if you ever play Roblox, I recommend these games to play. Step Forward Country Railways, Rails Unlimited, Terminal Railways, Tulip Lane, RO Scale. Alright, so we got that right there. Canadiana daylight would work as a complete. Yeah, they wouldn't though, because the daylight would resist the Hiawatha would pull. But yeah. SMT, what are the signs of an over-lubricated locomotive? That's a great question. I mean, usually if you put too much oil in an engine can only hold so much oil. Like a gearbox shouldn't be swimming in oil. It should just have a little bit around any area where there could be friction. So if you find an engine where the bottom is all greasy, that usually means somebody put too much. There shouldn't be enough grease that it can all like leak down. I mean, it happens a little bit with some of mine, but yeah, if an engine's really oily from the outside, yeah, somebody's probably put too much oil on the inside. So yeah, that's one sign. You show me your first HO scale train. I know where one is off the top of my head. It's that one. SMT, what is your dream loco? It's right in front of me. It's this one. Always wanted that one. I just go on Amazon. I got a UPGP11 Union Pacific grain car CSX coal car. Nice. When I heard the song Let It Go and I couldn't get it out of my head for like 5 years, it has haunted me ever since. Oh, wow. It's probably haunted me too. Who would have known back in 2014, that year. Anyway, goodness. Let's get this off the main line. Or, I guess, onto the main line, and then we'll get the rest of it off the main line, and then we'll have our brand new train ready to roll. And we'll send it around for like a couple laps. Hey, SMT, what's the size of your total layout? I don't know, actually. I'm gonna have to get a measuring tape and do some measurements of the layout, because I don't know. It seems to be a very common question. This is not rolling very well. Don't know why. Okay. Can you shout out Gopinopper's Trains? He's 6 away from 400. Absolutely, everybody go check out Gopinopper's Trains. Gopinopper's a good guy there. He was actually basically the first subscriber on this entire channel too, which is sort of funny. Not a lot of people knew that, but yeah, long history. Thanks to Disney. Yeah, Disney. I think one of the trucks on this is not functioning properly. It just doesn't seem like it's rolling. What is your favorite era? Or do you like it at all? I think for railroading, it would probably be about the 50s or 60s, just because you got a mix of steam and diesel. But I like the modern stuff too, like the, you know, like dash dines and things like that. So yeah, I guess the 90s and 2000s would probably be my second one. Although the 80s and 70s, I don't know, basically anywhere from like, I don't know, all the way from the 30s to like 2009, that's all great. And the 2010s is all right, but I don't know. I don't find the stuff they're rolling out these days is as good. Like in the 2000s, we had the original Bombardier Talent. The second and third generation Bombardier Talents look way worse than the third. Like, you know, the first generation's the best, you know, and I don't know. It's like they try to reinvent something that's perfect, and then they end up screwing it up, and then you get a terrible product. So, yeah, same goes too. We got the Chargers, from an efficiency standpoint, probably way better than the P42s there. But from a look standpoint, they beat them 100 times over. They're so much slicker, if that's a word. More slick. Will there be a third episode of Etsy series or potentially an eBay series? I would say there's definitely probably going to be an eBay series at some point. I'm not sure if there's going to be a third Etsy series or not. I don't know. Do you have any... no, I don't have any of the TNF series, as I'll call it. 60s when they phased out steam. Well, they were phasing out steam in the 60s. Canada was a decade behind the States, so in the 60s there was still a lot more steam operating, apparently. That's what a lot of railroad historians have told me at museums and stuff like that. The Canadians kept the steam trains around for a little bit longer. But even though they were being phased out, they still were operating, so it would have been interesting because you would have had, you know, a good amount of diesel, but still the odd steamer. So that's why I would probably say that'd be... And a lot of stuff, too, like a lot of the buildings and stuff like that that are sold, most of them are based in the 50s, and I get the impression that's why, just because, you know, that I think a lot of railroad historians would refer to that as the golden age, because you had a mix. So you have a little bit more of a creative license. You don't have to... If you like steam and diesel, you can have both without basically defying, you know, the realism rules or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to do this exactly. Chart... Okay. There's something wrong, and the Wakefield train is struggling to pull it now. This was operating fine. I have no idea what happened to the train. Huh. Weird. Anyway, I guess I'll just try to continue here, and I'll pull the rest of it along. Brightline and the new VIA units are the only Chargers that look decent. The rest look horrible. Exactly, yeah, those two are good because they gave the front of both of the VIA and Brightline. They decided to go with kind of the rounded front, but the kind that Amtrak's using there, frankly, to me, it looks like they chopped off the front of the locomotive and then stuck some lights in it. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. Okay, good. Because Canadians Love our nostalgia. Yeah, well, I guess we love our nostalgia, but only for a decade longer than the Americans do. That's why, by the way, too, if you go to a lot of you know, museums that have a lot of steam engines, a lot of them are Canadian, and it's because in the States they had already destroyed a lot of the steam locomotives, but the Canadians were just getting rid of them. So by the time a lot of preservation societies wanted them, the Canadian ones were the easiest to come by, so that's why you go to, you know, for example, Steamtown National Historic Site, and it's all pretty much Canadian Pacific stuff, you know. That's just how it all turned out. I'm only gonna send this around for one lap because I'm a little, yeah, that's really bad. I don't know what the heck is going on with the train. One of these trucks, something happened to it, and it seems to be... The train's not rolling properly. It should be almost resistantless, and the locomotive's having to work really hard to pull this, so... have you ever watched Rails of the Ottawa Valley? It focused on both Canadian... Ottawa Central and Canadian Pacific. I think I did, because I was watching one about when they were heading through Smith Falls. In the 90s, I think it was. It was done in 2003. Okay, so yeah, about then. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of those. Well, chargers are designed that way for couplers. Not the... I wonder what they did for the streamlined versions. I'd argue chargers are prettier than Genesis. Uh-huh. Yeah, this thing is not... It's funny, it's like it gains traction and then it just slips. So I don't know if that's something the wheel sets are doing, but yeah. I see them all the time here in Amtrak, California. St. Joaquin's, hate them, just glad we haven't sold our F59 PHI fleet to Metro yet. Like the Cascades and the Surfliner F59 PHs. Too much weight. It's not a weight issue. There's just something wrong with one of these cars. I'm going to have to take them off the track and either lubricate them, or it could be something simple. It could have just been like, for example, a piece of Nerf Cat's fur that got wound around one of the bearings, but it's probably more serious. I don't know what's up with it, but something's not functioning right with one of those wheel sets. You could just feel it when I was moving on the track, that there's something a bit off there, so I'm going to have to investigate that. Run the loco alone to make sure I'm sure it's not the loco, like, I'm 100%. It's one of these, I think it's one of these two. Here, I'm gonna quickly take this apart. We're gonna sort this all out. I think it might be this one. Yep, that's... See how this kind of coasts, and then this is just a single car, and look. Yeah, maybe there's more than one, though. Yeah, that one's got the same problem. How about these ones seem normal. See, that one's normal. You can see how little I'm tapping and it's moving. Goodness. But you see this one, I give it like the same tap and it almost instantly stalls out. So something's happened on a few of the... Oh! Okay, yep, there's our problem. Yeah, the tire has separated from the wheel. Nice. Is that what happened here too? It's not turning so well. There's just something wrong with that wheel. Anyway, yeah, there's something wrong with those cars, so we're going to take those ones off and I'll sort them out. I'm just going to replace the plastic wheels. I think they're all metal. It's got a plastic, I mean, the core of it's plastic, but the outside's metal, so yeah, it's not going to pollute the track with dirt. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody for joining in this evening. It's been a good stream. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody joining in. Anyway, everyone have a great night. Favorite diesel? Probably the BNSF-9. Anyway, have a great night, everyone.